Hey everybody, welcome to Backpacking with Buckley. Today I am packing for a very special occasion, going on a Wild West adventure to the Black Hills of South Dakota with a friend of mine, first timer from Indiana, he's gonna remain a surprise until we do a video. But real excited to get going. I thought for the first time ever I would do a loadout video. I'm notorious for packing like 15 times. So I'm going to try to do this in one take and see where we wind up and do a live weigh-in. Not base weight, all weight, including electronics and everything else. We talk a lot about base weight in the backpacking world, but let's go to reality and find out what's actually going to be on my back when I get fully loaded up. Without further ado, let's get started on my gear loadout. Starting with the pack, because that's what I'm going to start loading. I currently carry the highly underrated REI Flash 45 backpack. Weighs in at less than 2.5 pounds, so almost on the ultralight spectrum of packs. But this is a great little pack. I've loved it for the last year, and definitely a 5 out of 5. I'm not going to talk about every product I throw in here this detailed, but the REI Flash 45 is my backpack of choice for now. I have a Hilltop coming as well. But this is what we're loading up today. Bottom of my pack, I usually put the softer, lighter weight things. And today I'm going to start with my Superior Gear hammock. I am bringing my 30-degree hammock with a detachable bug net. This weighs in at about 33 ounces total. Again, it's a 30-degree underquilt on here. If you're not familiar with Superior Gear, I throw that in at the bottom of my pack. Let me show you, sorry, this way. So it takes up the whole bottom. Secondly, this is not how I normally pack, but I'm going for quite a few days, so I like in the middle of my pack to be the heavier items, and that winds up being my food bag this time around. I've got a lot of Peak Refuel, some Spam, all sorts of good backpacker goodies in here. This weighs in at about 3.5 pounds though for 4 days of hiking, staying out there for 3 nights. So I'm going to throw that in next, and then squeeze some things around that. For those of you who are wondering how I get to my food, I have an entire bag of snacks as well. Accessible. So that just wedges in on top of the hammock. To the side of that, vertically, I'm going to place my quilt. This is an EE quilt. It weighs 15 ounces. It's just a stock quilt, 40 degree. EE is Enlightened Equipment, if you're not familiar. So just to kind of give you an idea, I'm filled up to about this point of my pack with those 3 things, with some nooks and crannies in here that I'm going to show you my next moves. I have a 3-ounce Sea to Summit pillow. You literally just find a crack somewhere and you use all of that space in your pack. I also have the Superior straps for my hammock. They're 7 ounces. They're the heavier version of Danny's 2 choices. He also has an ultralight choice, which I own. But they limit you to trees with 4-foot diameter trunks or less, whereas the heavier Superior straps, I can go around some beast trees. More versatility. So again, just find some cracks in your pack between the hammock and the quilt and the food. The next thing I will probably load up is this noisy thing. I bring this because I don't like my coffee to taste like the meat that I cook, in this case Spam. I call it my Spam pan. I'm going to shove that in there somewhere where it's just not going to do that the whole time. Alright, next I will probably move on to, I have a little pocket in my backpack, most backpacks do, for a water bladder, and since I don't carry that, that's where I put my first aid kit. And I usually carry dude wipes for number 2s, and then a couple of these Sea to Summit. They're like heavier duty, I call them shower wipes, for cleaning up the swabs after a long day, in case we're not near water. So I put those again in my water bladder pocket, kind of behind everything or resting near my back. Next, I will probably add, I've been on the fence about this for the whole time, and I think I'm going to actually take it. my DJI mini drone. I'm going to take it on the hike. So this weighs close to 2 pounds with 2 extra batteries and the remote and everything like that. Definitely not a necessity, but I'm hoping to get some great shots out there in the legal areas. So again, that's the heavier item, putting that closer to the middle of my pack. On top of that, I think we will go with my clothing. Odd, this is my suitcase. It is a pair of socks, a lightweight t-shirt, and a extra pair of underpants. I did weigh this. It actually weighs 8 ounces. I'm super proud of that. The t-shirt is Patagonia and only weighs 3.5 ounces. It's awesome. But yeah, that's what I'm going to sleep in. Or change out to, and my other shirt gets too stinky. Next, I think I'm going to throw in the rest of my electronics, which is my Anker Power Core battery pack, my headlamp, and headphones. This weighs close to 1 pound altogether, but I'm bringing the big beefy battery pack. All right, next we'll move on to some kitchen items. This is my Tokes titanium 500 milliliter pot with the fuel inside of it, and then the MSR pocket rocket. With fuel and everything, I think this weighs about 12 ounces total for all 3 of these items. And then I will probably throw in, I'm rewinding, the drone's coming out. I'll tell you why in a minute. So instead I'm going to throw in my on top, this is really lightweight, 8 ounces, hammock gear, Dyneema tarp with stakes and bag. This is 8 ounces. So I'm going to throw that in towards the top. And then on top of that, I'm going to put my snacks. I have Honey Stingers, Snickers, Welch's Fruit Snacks, 3 different kinds of beef jerky. I often crave meat out there and obviously can't grill up a cheeseburger. So yeah, I probably have 1.5 pounds of just snacks. So we're gonna call her good there on the main compartment of my backpack. Get that tied up. So next is my favorite feature of most backpacks, this big mesh panel up front here. And that's where I like to put a lot of my accessible things, which is why I why I took the drone out. You never know when I'm gonna get an epic place where I wanna pull that out and fly it. It is in a Hilltop Packs fanny pack, which has kind of been what I've been carrying it in lately, which is vastly waterproof, and I also have it in a Ziploc bag inside of here. So it goes okay on this back panel. Next to that, I'm going to put my Canuck bag and my Sawyer squeeze. This weighs all of about 7 ounces, I think, if you're paying attention to weights. I've been hitting this on that. And then just a couple odds and ends, more beef jerky, and a microfiber towel from REI. On the side, I have a 6-ounce umbrella from a company that I can't recall. It's not North Face, but just a real lightweight umbrella. They come in really handy on a straight down rain. And a pack cover, which will go in the side pocket as well. Last but not least, for on the pack anyway, is my little tripod from Joby. I do have bigger ones, but this only weighs 3 ounces, and I want to cut every ounce possible. This is not the greatest option for a tripod, but it does suffice on a longer trip like this. And better than a full pound on a tripod. I try to limit my electronics if I'm carrying the drone. And then my GSI mug for coffee, I literally just strap to the outside of my pack with a carabiner. And I'm bringing 1 carbon fiber trekking pole. A lot of people prefer 2. There's a lot of elevation on these hikes. but I never pull the second one out, so I'm bringing one, taking the risk. Alright, so that's the full body of my pack, which leaves me with this entire top brain to fill with, you know, actually I'll probably throw this beef jerky in there. And I carry a lightweight knife. I realize my head is cut off right now, but I don't care. I'll come back around. Last but not least, I'm hiking the Centennial Trail, and on All Trails maps, they are not great, so I'm bringing the guidebook, which will get us through any questionable trail questions. That was really good talk. So, give me just a minute to get this all kind of latched up, put my water in here, and I will come back to you with a final and honest weigh-in on my pack. Alright folks, so the beast is fully loaded. You and I are going to find out at the same time what this thing weighs. Let me show you here. Just have a luggage scale. I have a digital scale for ounces, but this is what I use for my full pack. It'll be close enough. So you can see it's zeroed. So let's find out together what this weighs. $26.2 pounds. So, I'm a little disappointed in that, but I don't generally go for 4-day trips, and I packed probably, well, I know for a fact I have 5 pounds worth of food in here, and so that'll diminish as the trip goes on, and so that's just what we'll have to do. 26.2 pounds is my pack weight for this trip. Thanks for joining us at Backpacking with Buckley. I hope you learned a little bit from my unscripted packing video. And if you have any questions about the gear I'm carrying, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. I don't generally leave a long list of my gear because I am lazy. So, thanks again for joining us. Be yourself, be happy, and look forward to my Wild West adventure coming soon.